I decided to make this video. It's gonna be really vague and probably not as informational as I really would. I'm just gonna try to give you a sense of what you will probably be doing for the remainder of your 2 months during BMT. Just in general, you're gonna wake up at like 5:45 in the morning, and if you're in the summer schedule, you're gonna do PT like 15 minutes after you wake up. So what I suggest is, okay, so you sleep in your PT gear, and then you wake up, and then if you're a girl, have your hair, like, buy a do-rag, because that's what a lot of the girls on my flight did. We bought do-rags, and then we just did our hair like this, and then just wrapped it, slept, woke up, have one less thing to worry about. All we have to do now is just wake up, it's really just 15 minutes to just kind of like get yourself prepared. Oh yeah, well actually, so I don't know about your first week there. I don't think for 0 week they're gonna expect you to do beds that quick, but I think you will eventually get to a time, well, depending on your squadron, but, or I mean your flight, your MTIs, you're probably gonna have to make beds in those 15 minutes. At first it's gonna seem like an impossible thing to do under 15 minutes, but trust me, you're gonna do it every single day, and it's not that hard. It's just attention to detail. Oh yeah, and for making beds, you should buy a clipboard on your first mini mall run, or even, you know, I guess bring a clipboard from home, bring it to you for BMT, because you use the clipboard to tuck in the excess that's hanging from the side after you do your hospital corners. You tuck it in, and then it makes them really tight. That's how they determine if your bed is made well. So yeah, so you make your bed, and then like 15 minutes later you go out for PT, or like you go out for assembly where everyone goes downstairs, and then sing the Airman's Creed, the Air Force song, then you go out to the PT pad, I'm pretty sure, and that's when you do PT for like probably 30-45 minutes ish, depending on the day. So you vary from strength day to run day, and strength days not that hard, run days you're literally just running the entire time. I was in a weird phase in my BMT, so I came in from October 30th to December 28th, which is when I graduated. So November was technically still summer, and then December was the winter schedule. So I got to experience both summer schedule and winter schedule. So for winter schedule, you actually do PT later in the day. I honestly think I like doing PT later on in the day, just because it's like I drank enough water at that point, and like I feel more awake. Like I feel like when I do PT in the morning, I'm still like groggily moving, and I'm not really like putting effort into everything. So after PT, you go back upstairs, then you shower. Please shower. But it's just kind of gross, you know? Like, I guess it depends on how many showers you get in a day. For summer schedule, you get to shower 2 times in a day, but for winter schedule, definitely shower, because some girls, like, I don't know what y'all be thinking, but like, just don't do it. Just take that one shower for that day, and that's what you're supposed to do anyways. So don't get yourself in trouble because you didn't want to shower. There's gonna be people rushing you to shower, get in, get out kind of thing, but honestly, all you gotta do, put your head under the water, soap, and then get out. Like, don't talk too much. Like, girls talk in there, but like don't be having too long of conversations, because there's people that need a shower in there, and there's only so many shower heads really for 50 people, so don't be inconsiderate. And then afterwards, it really depends, because like your chow times will differ like from day to day. So one day you could be having chow like right after PT, and the other times you'll have chow like 2 hours after PT or something, and that's like the worst usually, because you're so freaking hungry. You haven't eaten in over like 12 hours at that point, but it's okay, you're gonna eat eventually. Like, they're not gonna starve you. And then usually before chow, like if your chow time is like a little bit later on in the morning, then you guys do detail. They just like cleaning the dorm, and you'll have a set detail for yourself. Like, I was the utility crew, so I basically did nothing my entire time in BMT. I just gave people brooms, make sure the utility closet was pretty much squared away, and that's all you have to do for utility crew. Laundry crew, they do nothing either, because laundry is most of the time not even running, because we weren't allowed to use the laundry if we weren't going to be there for longer than like 2 hours or something, like in the dorm. And then latrine was probably the worst. Like they needed a lot of people for latrine because it's a big place, and it's a big place for demerits to be caught. And then the bays, which is phasers, which is they just fix up the beds, the shoe alignments, the floor details. That usually goes on for like 30 minutes. And then sometimes the MTIs, they'll bring you all to the day room, just brief you on some random stuff. It always depends on what the schedule says. So for me personally, I like knowing what I'm gonna do like throughout a day so that I'm not like constantly on edge. So for our dorm, at least, I don't know about everyone else's, we had a schedule that was posted on the wall next to the MTI's office, and our girls, we would just like go there every morning, not every morning, but like in the start of the week on Sunday is usually when they post it up. We just look on the board and see what we have to do for the week. So depending on your schedule, obviously it's going to differ. So sometimes they'll have you go in the brief room in the morning and they'll just talk about some stuff. Like it's really relaxed whenever you go to the day room most of the time. Sometimes they'll bring you in the day room for like some like, okay, who did this, or like some bad stuff. So like after like 45 minutes of being in the day room or ish, kind of, that's when you'll probably go to chow. And then after chow, usually you go to class. Usually class starts around 9 and then goes up until lunchtime. And I honestly really like class just because I like learning, and I also liked just sitting down and not moving so much. And you go back downstairs, go eat chow, and then sometimes you might have class again. I don't know, depends on the day, obviously. But afterwards, you might even have to go out on the drill pad and do drill. And that's only for like 1st to 4th week though, because by 4th week, you should have everything down to a T, honestly. No, it always gets a little fuzzy between afternoon because like you're all just kind of doing random stuff. I forgot to mention that during the afternoons, you'll probably have time to just sit in your little area, which is just your bed and stuff and your locker, and just set up for RLA, which is just like your closet, make sure everything's set up. You'll understand when you get to there, but basically you're just making sure everything's squared away. Then dinner time could be from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Again, chow times really differ. It's the same for all 3 meals. Like you never really know what time you have lunch, dinner, or breakfast. So then once you're done with dinner, you might do drill again, maybe, you know, depending on how bad you guys are. Or you guys might go back upstairs and do little briefings in there. That's when you guys get to eat your protein bar, which so every day you get a protein bar. It's like a chocolate. It's pretty good. Like some girls, we would do some crazy stuff for a protein bar. Like some girls, they would switch EC shifts, which is basically, EC is when you like you're standing by the door and you just let people in and out of your dorm, and you do that. It's 24 hours. So every day, every night, there's gonna be 2 girls, two of your flight members. It could be you, it could be someone else. They're gonna be standing by the door, and no one's gonna come in, but you still have to stand there because security, you know. So yeah, some girls, they'll just be like, hey, if I give you my protein bar, can you switch EC shifts with me? Which is basically like, can you take over this 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. shift, because I don't want to do that. That's how good the protein bars were. You'll understand when you get there. Like you're not gonna have that much food in your system. You're gonna be hungry even after you eat chow, and the only thing you can feed yourself with is water. So you're gonna have your protein bar, you're gonna eat in the day room. The MTIs will probably go over some random stuff about what you're gonna do next week, or what you're gonna do in the upcoming weeks, or what you're doing tomorrow, kind of thing. Like they'll just go over some stuff. They'll be like, so how do you guys feel, kind of thing. Like it's just a place for you guys to talk. After that, probably an hour later of being in the day room, eating your protein bar and just sitting there, the MTIs will go back to their office, and they eventually leave. Like, so around this time, it's like 8 p.m. MTIs usually leave their office around 8:30, maybe even earlier. So yeah, by 8 p.m., that's basically when the MTIs will just leave you alone most of the time. Then you go to your bays, you take showers, you change into your PT gear to sleep in, you do details, and then you might have 30 minutes of personal time, which is like, Sorry, my roommate came back from the gym, interrupted me. Rude. So yeah, 8 p.m. the MTIs will leave, usually, even 8:30 maybe, and then that's when you do your details again, like the same thing you did in the morning. Basically, you take your shower. Please take your shower. Then you have your personal time. So that's the overview of what your days are going to be looking like when you're in BMT for the most part. Like sometimes, like especially for 0 week, you're going to be like doing appointments and you might not even come back to the squadron area until like 6 p.m. You're like gone for the entire day, literally. So yeah, like basically a lot of people would always say this, focus on the now to get to chow, which is basically just saying, look, if you just look forward to the next time you get to eat, your days will go by faster. And let me just say, like, the second I got up, I'm like, all right, when's breakfast? And then I count the hours to breakfast. And then after breakfast, I'm like, okay, so approximately like 4 more hours until lunch. And then the same thing for dinner. Like, okay, 5 more hours till dinner. Let's get it. Let's push through, kind of thing. And just don't look at your time in BMT as like weeks. Look at it as like lunch period, chow periods, like times you get to eat. And it'll make, like, instead of looking forward to like, oh my god, like we're still in 0 week, blah blah blah, like be more like, oh my gosh, like I have an hour until like lunch chow, like let's hurry up with this, kind of thing. And like when you just focus on what you're doing right now instead of thinking of like, okay, like in 3 weeks we go to Beast, like I mean, sure, like that's not a bad way to look at like your events during BMT, but at the same time, it's a little, it kind of drags on and you just feel like you're not really going anywhere, especially if you're like in the first few weeks. Like definitely after 4th week, which is basically your mid-mark of BMT, that's, I think, is the greatest time to be like, okay, like 3 more weeks until graduation, 2 more weeks, 1 more week, and then the next thing you know, you're in tech school. It's a great thing. So I guess I just made this whole entire video about what your daily routine in BMT would be. It'll be different for 0 week, but it's like the same sort of like ordeal, except just from 9 p.m. to probably like 4, I mean, I'm at 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You're gonna be doing all sorts of things concerning your documents of like just different things like about you being there, I guess. And after 0 week, it'll go by a little bit slower, especially when you're still going through like sort of like that new person treatment. You're just gonna feel like, holy crap, like I feel like I've been here for a whole year, like this just never ends. But no, it'll get better. It'll go by faster because you get better and you know what to expect for the day. So yeah, that's basically it. And then for what is it, for Beast Week, that's a totally different ordeal. So yeah, basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday after Beast, my whole entire flight, we literally just kind of like did nothing really. I mean, it was because like that weekend, it was before Christmas, so like a lot of our MTIs were kind of taking leave around that time, and there's like less like instruction because you're basically done. Because think about it, you graduate in a couple of days after that, so it's like wild, really. Like it's an exciting time to be, and you get to just relax and just like prepare yourself for graduation weekend. Then you're gonna be done, you're gonna be seeing your family, and it's gonna be a great time. So what I say, overall summary of this, the days in the beginning are just gonna drag on. In the middle, it'll go by a little faster, but at the same time, you're still kind of like, oh my god, like a couple more weeks. And then once you're done with your final PT test, that's when things start to kick in and you start to realize like, oh my god, I'm almost done. And then you're done. And then you're in tech school. And then tech school is so chill. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I know I've been talking really fast. It's because I had a whole venti-sized Americano, which is like a lot of espresso shots in that thing. Yeah, hope this video was okay, gave some insight into what you're gonna be doing every day. So yeah, again, if you have any questions, you can ask me and I'll give them to you. Bye.